Mountain Pass, Southern Spawn. Why winning the West is not important. Spawning on Mountain Pass in the south, this is how the game usually develops. Now you have the heavy flank, which is right here where the heavy tanks are brawling. Then you have basically this bridge, which is usually protected by tank destroyers right here or right here in the friendly team. And then you have the western portion of the map, which is usually where medium tanks are going, or maybe one or another heavy tank. Now, first of all, what I like to do in a light tank, but also in a medium tank, I want to go to this position, because from here I can get cross shots to this position. So all the tanks, at least the slow tanks, which are proceeding to the west, I can not only spot them, but then also get some first shots and decrease the amount of HP with which they arrive at this position. Now, keep in mind that the same is true for the adversary team, because if you are playing in a slow, let's say heavy tank like this, so all your medium tanks have already advanced to this position and you are crossing like this, then the enemy forces can take you under fire basically from this position right here, and you will use your HP before you reach this position right here. So this is a drawback for you if you go to this position. The first thing enemy light tanks do is proceed either to this position or to this position, so basically they will be able to spot all the tanks which are advancing to the west. This is the first drawback. Now the next is, even if you have managed to go to the west, in my opinion, the enemy team does have a distinct advantage, because they can play here, they can play hull down here, and with doing so, they have an advantage over all the other tanks, also of the tanks which are playing in this position. And so chances are that they will basically take all those tanks out of the game and then further advance and basically win this portion of the map. So basically defending this western portion is not easy at all. It is rather difficult. Now on the other hand, the advantage of the southern spawn is that you can easily defend the southern position. Here's a very strong defensive position, but then also you have this plateau here, and this plateau gives you the option of basically, I should make this in blue because that is my tank now. Gives you the option of getting shots towards this position. You are first of all in a hull down position right here, but then also you have a double bush situation, so you will not get spotted. You can defend the heavy flank, so if you have lost this let's say heavy lane, and if those enemy tanks are proceeding all the way to your base like this, you can then defend this area from this plateau here. And then later on, let's say the medium or heavy tanks would be able to make it all the way down to your base. So let's say like this. Then you can even open up a crossfire situation. So if there's a tank in this bush right here, and if there are some tanks right here, then you have basically a perfectly fine crossfire situation, basically, and you will be able to shoot all the way to this position. So if those tanks advance towards the hill, they can get taken under fire by this position, and if they turn towards this tank, then they can be taken under fire by the hill. So in my opinion, winning the west is not important at all, and what you should focus on is play defensively, because you have a super capable defensive position from which you can defend all the enemy attacks. Alright, you see me playing in a tier 7 Chinese light tank, and even with the fast light tank, I generally do not proceed all the way to the west, because I think winning the west is not important at all. Instead, what I do actually with a light tank and also with the medium tank, I proceed to this position right here in order to get a first spot. Unfortunately, I'm not the first tank arriving here, but maybe I can get a shot. Okay, I'm stunned. Let's see, here we go. Nice, at least one shot on the enemy VK. And so yeah, what I try to do is I try to give my team as much information as I can, so that my team knows how many enemy forces are proceeding towards the west. And we are perfectly fine, no matter how strong the forces are which proceed to the west. We will be able to defend the western portion of the map. Now obviously I always want to basically take a look at what my team is doing, and if my team is proceeding to the west, pushing there aggressively, then okay, I get 2 shots, that is too bad. Then obviously I can later on still go to this flank and help my team. Now the first thing I want to do is I want to punish those 2 over aggressive light tank players. Now the problem is I do not have the gun depression, so I'm trying to basically use this this rock here in order to angle my tank so that I can then effectively bring down my gun to where I need it, but this does not work too well. Okay, and yeah, he takes another shot, and so I am right now a little bit pissed. And so let's fall back. 0-2. Now the game does not look too well. Our team has problems on the heavy flank, and we already lost the western flank, but that is not a problem at all if you are spawning on this map in the south, because from the south you can perfectly defend not only the west but also the heavy flank. And now you see me fall back relatively soon, and the reason is from here I can, even with the tank which has a lack of gun depression, support my team. And with the double bush situation here, due to this fantastic tree, I don't even get spotted when I support my team right here. So the Skoda T25 down there also has a strong position because he is behind a rock which gives him cover, and then adjacent to the rock is a nice bush from which you can spot, so you have the first shot advantage out of this position. However, if you can get pushed out from this position relatively quickly if the team has, let's say, a couple of tanks available. Okay, let me see, can I get, nice, I get a shot here. Now I want to support my Leo teammate. And the good thing about the southern portion, about this plateau here, is you can also try to, or help to defend the heavy flank, and so we can take out this aggressively pushing heavy tank. Now the Leo is down there, an excellent defensive position, excellent. He's spotting all the tanks, and so we can take them under fire from this position. So excellent gameplay by him. And now this map actually is one of the few maps in which losing map control is not important at all, because once again we can support every flank and defend every side of the map from this plateau. This is why this map is, or this position is so strong. We can even get a sniping shot over at the VK position. Now he's reversing, and so on this map, winning the south, winning the west is not important at all. Mountain Pass spawning the south is a map from which you can perfectly defend all the enemy flanks and play super passively, and losing map control is not a problem at all. Now the Leo, unfortunately, he does not have he's now taken out. He does not have any armor whatsoever, so he cannot even play hull down. If he was playing in a tank like the, let's say, the 122 TM, then things would be completely different. But yeah, that's not how it is. But even though we have lost the only tank on the right heavy flank, that's not a problem at all, because we can spot from this hill here, and we can even get a shot. See, okay, to the side, nice, 209 damage. Of course, we're spotted now, so we have to fall back. And yeah, so the game is still relatively close, even though we have lost 3/4 of the map. But once again, that is not a problem at all. Now I want to, yeah, here you go, keep those tanks spotted. He is looking towards me, nice. That was a lucky shot. Now once again I'm spotted, but that is not a problem at all. And so I think it is now time to outmaneuver the SMVCC, the CC56, the tier 7 Italian tank destroyer, because he has no chance whatsoever. He's a very sluggish tank and I can simply circle around him. Once again, a little tip here: if you do this in a light tank, concentrate on driving, use auto aim, and so the only thing you have to focus on is once again drive around him so that he cannot basically focus you with his gun, and then as soon as your pen marker is green, most likely at the rear of the enemy tank, you can shoot and you will penetrate, but simply don't shoot when your gun is pointing towards the frontal armor, because obviously this is the thickest part of the armor of the enemy tank. So yeah, I think a perfect example on how, or basically why, winning the West is nothing you should care about. And once again, Mountain Pass, playing from the south, you can perfectly defend the map even though you've lost the West, even though you've lost map control. So this is why I do not push in the West, not with a light tank, not with a medium tank, and also not with a heavy tank.